Hey there, this is Tim. I'm one of the partners of Paragon Partners, and I'm going to go over my last 30 eBay sales. This is about July 2021. You can see we're close to 19,000 in the last 30 days. We're down a little bit because we sold something really expensive back in June, but overall we're still doing pretty well. I picked up a pair of these at a garage sale for next to nothing. They didn't end up going for that much, unfortunately, but we sold two of them, likely to the same buyer, so we saved on shipping, so that was nice. Oh, now here's a collection of knobs. Think of replacement knobs that you'd use, say, like on a stereo receiver. Now, I was at the swap meet, and some guy who's selling everything for $1. And they had this bag of knobs there. Now, I've went to my Ace Hardware to buy replacement knobs for my own projects, and they're usually about $3 a pop. And in this lot, there was 47 of them. So I knew it was a pretty good deal, but I wasn't going to sell them each. So I just put them all in one lot, and I sold them for $20. Now, this one, of course, I'm a little out of my range on this one, but this is new old stock nylons or pantyhose. And I got this for $5 at the swap meet. And I knew somebody who's into vintage wear and reenactments would want this. So I sold it for $25, and I was happy with that. Like I say, it was a little bit out of my range, but I still recognized it was a good deal. Now, I bought this lot of board games, and this was included with it. And with board games, I mentioned this before, I really don't like to buy them because I never know if they're incomplete. And so I put this one up and took a chance because it was with everything else. I didn't get the best price on it, but it was practically free for me with the overall lot. This was a Bunsen burner set. Now, my partner, he bought a huge lot of medical goods surplus, and we sold most of it, and this has been the leftovers. And I was kind of disappointed this didn't go for a bit more. I mean, I've seen these Bunsen burners by themselves do pretty well. Perhaps I should have parted this out more so. I only got $16 for the whole thing, and it cost $12 to ship it, so I didn't make that much. But like I say, it was pretty much leftover at this point. Oh, now this was an 8-port CVM switch. I actually used this in my own computer rig setup until I upgraded my equipment. This this is the old style, the old PS2 connectors, not the USB connectors. So this is like around the year 2000. So this thing is like 20 years old. So I kept on putting it on. It never sold. Its only value was it was 8 ports instead of 4 ports. And I finally sold it for $10. So not a lot, but it was for my own personal collection, and I'd well used it. Now, I bought a couple of Hot Wheels items. This is in the lot. I think I paid like $5 for the whole lot. And since this was a double-decker, it went for more, which is pretty cool. Now, I mentioned in previous videos, my partner, he bought this big office equipment lot from a business going out. And this is in there. And he told me to go ahead and throw it away. But I thought, I might as well put it up and see how it does. And usually he's right on these things, but this is one I was actually right on. We got a pretty good price for it, for something that he was convinced had no value. Oh, now I purchased 3 of these for $20. Of course, they're all different, this old drafting set. And this was one of the better ones because it had more instruments in it. And it was complete, which is rare. Usually they're missing 1 or 2 pieces. So this one paid for the whole thing. This one, it took me a while to sell. It was an old backpack for picnicking. It had foil and insulation inside of it, but it didn't have anything that went with it. The plates, the cups, the silverware, the napkins, the boards, things like that. So I had held on to this for a while, finally lowered the price, and it sold. Oh, an Apple mouse. We sold this for a friend, and we're happy with the price. This came from the same friend. You can see what this iPhone 6 did. Not bad. This is another item we sold on consignment. We've been selling a lot of lenses, and lenses have been anywhere from 500 to, or pardon me, 50 to 500, depending on the value. There's really a wide range. Luckily, my partner, he helps me with these because, of course, lenses can be its own specialty, and I don't know if I have something cheap or expensive. Apple keyboard. Actually, we shouldn't have gotten more for this, especially since it had free shipping with it. I've seen these usually go for 20 to 40. I think we undersold this one. from the same friend selling on consignment. What's nice is these iPods still have value. You can see this one went for 60 bucks. iPhone, same friend, still had some good value. Now, this I've been selling as a leftover. My friend was moving out, and I helped him pack up a bunch of stuff, and this is a leftover, and he said, here, take it. So I went ahead. I wasn't sure how much value this had, but we got 60 bucks out of it. So for me, it was free just for helping him for an afternoon. This one, I think we sold a little too cheap because it had free shipping on it. It's wireless control for a camera. Usually these mouses, they're mediocre, as was this one. The big thing is you have to make sure you have the USB receiver with it. And this is a Logitech, which is a little bit on the cheaper side, so we didn't do too well on it. This came from a friend on consignment as well. Oh, now this one was a leftover for me. I bought a huge lot of O-scale railroad things. You may have seen in the previous video. I think I got the whole big box, like 20 bucks full of everything. And this was a transformer, but it was missing the knob, which is the most important piece. So it only sold for 10 bucks. It had the knob, but when it went for 30 to 50 probably. Another iPhone, we did pretty well on it. It's from the same friend. Oh, now this is all the office lot my partner bought. And this was a little different because it had one of these never-ending ink supplies. As I said, put in ink cartridges. It hooked it up to go to this inkwell. And man, I got to say, this thing was the messiest thing I ever packed. I had to wear gloves, and I got ink all over the place. I got all over my photography studio, all over my bins. God, this thing was just a pain to package. So I certainly hope the customer did well with it. Now, here's an Apple power supply. And this is an example, I think, of the power of Apple. Any other power supply would be like a $5 to $12 item, some cheapie you get from China with free shipping. This one we got 20 bucks for. Now this is a good Garmin. This is from the same friend. And I've seen a lot of Garmin items, and now, of course, they're obsolete by cell phones. And I see most Garmin GPS units sell for $5 to $15, and that's even when they're new in box with everything. This Garmin item went for close to 80 bucks, so we were happy with that. Here's a camera from the same friend. We sold on consignment. I don't quite understand this camera, but my partner listed at 29 bucks, and it sold within about a week, so it was probably right on. Oh, now I had purchased a couple of Tonka items. I've been watching all these Tonka restoration videos, so I kind of know that there's some new interest in Tonkas. And I actually started this as a 99-cent, or pardon me, I started it as a $19.99, accepted the best offer for $13. As you can see, it's just the trailer to the fire engine, not an actual fire engine. So since it's missing its main component, it doesn't have the same value. But I got it for $1. I mentioned the Hot Wheel lot, so this is part of that $5 lot. I actually had 2 of these, and I sold them both for 15 bucks. Here's another Apple power supply. Same thing. If this had been a Chinese cheapie, it would have sold for next to nothing with free shipping. But I got 18 bucks out of it. This is an old slide rule. I've sold a couple of these in the past. I bought this for $5, and there's still kind of the subculture of people who dig slide rules and use them actively. Now, one of these phones, I've been doing pretty good on the telephones. I think what happens is people in old office systems, when the phone goes dead and they want to replace it with the same like phone. And so this phone sold within about 4 weeks, so it took a little while, but it did a good job. Now, Technics, I consider this a mid-level brand, but I bought at the swap meet 4 different Technic items. One was a turntable, one was a receiver, one was a cassette deck. This was the equalizer. And I listed them all separately. And this did the best out of the bunch. I thought this was good for Technics, since Technics is, it's a medium level brand, maybe even a little less. Anyway, that's it. You hear this at every video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks a lot.